Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another Smart Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Pete. I got Vince and Brandon with me. As always, thanks for joining me, guys. All right, talkative bunch today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us at home. We have an exciting episode here today. We're going to talk about our smart home philosophies, why we automate things, how we automate things, why we don't automate certain things, and why Brandon has just gotten lazy and doesn't automate anything. So we're...
Because I have the best smart home, and I totally won.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. We'll get to that. The results of our poll from last week.
It's gotten to my head, guys.
No.
I said it wouldn't, but it did.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, but we'll get to all that. And please, if you guys have questions, comments, hit us up in the chat. We'd love to interact with you guys and hear what you guys folks are thinking. But first, before we get into our main topic, let's hit the news. The smart home news is my oh, you guys can't hear it. We got some smart home music, news music going on. Very newsy in the background. I'm sure our audience is really digging that. All right, smart home news. First order of business. Homey Pro Moods is a new mode available. If you're a Homey Pro user, they've added Moods, which is a pretty cool feature. It's just a way of organizing. If you have multiple lights and switches in a room and you want them all to kind of work together, you can create this thing called a mood, which is basically a scene in Hubitat or other smart home areas. But you can build them all together as a scene, set the things the way you like them, and then you create this mood that you can access at any point you want. So it's I haven't used it much, but it works pretty well, and it seems like a pretty cool feature that I'm going to start integrating into my smart home. Vince, are you using your Homey Pro yet, or did that go back because okay?
I returned it, and then because the board was loose, and then I never bought another one again. So well, I gave the one a shot for like literally about 15 minutes, where I had loaded everything up before I returned it, just to kind of see. And I just didn't think it was going to be compatible yet for me. So for everything so we'll wait and see. I mean, it looked like it was cool, but kind of excited to see some more, what more is going to come out with that, like for compatibility's sake.
Yeah, indeed. So always adding new stuff, but yeah, it's not quite perfect yet. All right, moving on. Next topic in the news. This happened the day after our last stream. The Aqara M3 was released. You can see my review. A bunch of other people had reviews. Eric had a review. He was on the show last week with us as well. It's okay. It's good. Didn't quite live up to the promise that they had yet. A lot of the features with the M3. The big thing was Matter, right? It's Matter compatible, and it was supposed to be Matter, have a thread radio, be able to be compatible with any Matter thread device. It is not yet. They've actually added some compatibility in the last couple of weeks, but it's still leaving a lot to be desired. I think it has a lot of potential. It's great if you're in the Aqara ecosystem, because their Matter and thread devices that they're adding are working directly with that now, which is nice. But to really make it a fully functioning hub for all of your smart home devices, they've got some work to do.
Still got the Zigbee though.
You got the Yes, got the Zigbee.
Zigbee.
Paul Hibbert, shout out there. Yeah. So you guys haven't tried the M3 yet, right?
Negative.
No, I only have one Aqara device, and it is it's the Wi-Fi. It's the FP2, so I don't have anything Aqara yet.
Okay. Yeah, the FP2 is pretty cool. You don't need the hub for that, because that's Wi-Fi devices. But hey, there's Eric. Eric checking in. Fred's checking in. Thanks for joining us, guys. So yeah, you can check out Eric, Modern Day Tech. He also did a review on the M3. We came to a lot of the reviews came to essentially the same conclusion. If you look at we were joking. Everyone's thumbnails looked the same. It was kind of like, what do we make of this thing? Like it's got promise, but is it gonna be there? So that was kind of funny. So our Aqara M3 is out now, so you can check that out. This just came out. Brandon, was this yours? The Google Home is now opening up its smart home to developers. It's opening its API up. Brandon, was that your news as well?
Yeah, and they're adding it to the Chromecast as well. So like use your TV as a hub. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. For me, Google Home is the third out of Apple, Alexa, and Google Home. I put them third. But yeah, it's good that they're opening.
But if you're Eric, you get both.
That's true. That's true. Eric was the draft king as far as voice ecosystems go.
Voice assistants, at least.
Voice assistants go. But but that does open up a lot of potential. It sounds like they're going to be letting developers use their devices and things in their automations, and so any opportunity that manufacturers and stuff are giving the other developers to work together and open things up, I think is good for the whole smart home universe. So it's kind of some fun news right there. Next up, we got Memorial Day deals. If you haven't checked out Amazon, they've got some Memorial Day sales running right now. Always a good time to buy. Did you guys find anything notable that's on sale right now?
The Echo Hubs are on sale, but they're like always on sale. I would check like closer to the weekend. I think we might see some interesting stuff with locks and vacuums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Zeus is having a sale for Memorial Day stuff too, so I was looking at that stuff the other day.
Oh yeah, is that on their website or is that on Amazon or both?
Yeah, on the Smartest House.
Okay.
SmartestHouse.com.
All right, I have to check that out.
The frugal in me just never wants to pay full price for smart home gear. It's
I hear
like,
you.
find what you want, put it in your cart, and then just wait.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of deal.
Yeah. Well,
Only suckers pay retail.
you can also watch, if you put something in your cart, you can watch. If they raise the price, that probably means they're going to lower the price even more because they raise it before sale, so they can say, it's 45% off versus 25% off. So they're.
Have you guys ever used it's called like camel for
yes,
Amazon? So like on Prime days, or you can check to see what the lowest price has been in the last, is it like year or 6 months?
I think it's like up to two.
So you can actually see if it's a dealer.
Yeah, it goes way back. Yeah.
Rob from the Hookup, him and his wife have been tracking like all of the most recommended products.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a daily thing. It's pretty interesting. I appreciate that. Like around any sale, he'll put it on a quick video. It's like, hey, these are the ones I actually recommend, and here's the real price. And here's what you buy. It just saves so much time, and it's so like to the point too.
He does actual work, which is impressive, and we appreciate that. So someday maybe I'll do that as well.
He's like a scientist and stuff.
I don't know his background. Nice guy. Met him at
science teacher. He was a science teacher before.
Well,
that's why.
Look at that site.
So is he a meth dealer now too? Is he cooking meth in the trailer?
I think he's into the golf and the smart home
I know
stuff.
he's got this
be
awesome
best friends.
simulator. If you're a golfer, and I know none of you probably are, but if you are, check out. He's got a golf simulator video that he made in his garage. He actually lofted his garage to make it work. It's very cool. Much better than my hobo simulator that I.
And he automated it too.
I know.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm very jealous.
Yours is pretty nice though.
I mean,
garage setup. It's cool.
It works.
It's not like $100,000 setup like in these luxury homes, but it's sweet.
It costs under $3,000, and $2,800 of that was the simulator or the launch monitor. So,
jeez.
We spent very little on that.
Private the rest of the room together, but
yeah, Eric is dying to see if he won. We'll get there. We're getting there. All right, we're getting there.
Oh, he missed out.
I know he did. So we got
that one.
Next news: the Sonos headphones. They were just announced. Kind of interesting. What's the point of a Sonos headphone? The idea is that you have all these interconnected speakers, so you move around and it's the same. But if you have a headphone on, I don't understand necessarily the need for that. I'm sure they're quality headphones, but do they connect with the system? Your other Sonos?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
And they're in the business of making money.
Well, yeah, I mean, money's good.
For quality, so this all checks out.
All right, well, send us a speaker, Sonos, and we'll give it a review. We'll be delighted. Send Brandon one. He knows what he's doing. So
I have the outdoor ones that I'll be installing when I get home.
Oh no, my last two news pieces got deleted from our chart. Okay,
I got one.
You got one. Okay, Vince has got one, and then I got two. So
the Philips Hue app got a quality of life change upgrade. So as of April 30th, you can change what all the lights in a zone or a room can do after they regain power by tapping the 3-dot menu. So basically just some more functionality inside of the Philips Hue app, which is probably needed. I don't think they're
just
best.
If you had a lot of lights, that would be really helpful to save time. Because I know you could do that before. We had to go in each one individually.
Correct. And then you can also help eliminate that popcorn effect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of funny to see.
Maybe for you.
Even in like a high-end house, occasionally I'll see that. I was like, I see what you did here.
That was one thing Hubitat actually did work really hard to eliminate the popcorn effect with their devices. So one of the engineers was very against that, so that was his pet project to make sure that didn't happen with their automations. But yeah, good to see Hugh doing that. So I got two other news features. The first one is that the Minnesota Timberwolves are apparently good now, which is and again, I know the audience probably doesn't care about sports, especially Minnesota Timberwolves sports, but we've been bad for a very long time.
We never won a championship.
No, we've never won a championship. We've only been to this round of the playoffs one other time in
20 years ago.
20 years ago, yeah, and they've been a team since 1989, so
Wow.
35
Go
years.
Sports.
You want a fun fact real quick?
I do.
You know that Minnesota is the only major sports franchise market that has all the major teams that has not won a championship in any sport in over 30 years. Since 1991. The Twins won the World Series in 1991.
Twins, yeah.
That was the last time.
Yeah.
I know, I was 12. It was the greatest moment of my life. Still
have your Homer hanky?
I do. It's in a box right up there. Of course, I got my Homer hanky. Yeah,
I'm sure mine's in a bin somewhere.
Yeah, those are good times. Yes, so it's hard to be a sports fan in Minnesota, so we focus on our home automation instead when times are tough.
By the way, they're playing that. I'm in Dallas for my real job, but so they're playing here, and maybe I can find a ticket that isn't $4,000.
Doubt that, but worth a shot.
I like the memes. Pay my rent or go watch them play. I remember when they were like giving those tickets away. They're like paying people, like, come on, come down.
Here, pay $9 for nose. Yeah, we'll give you $20 worth of food.
Yeah, and then it was like, just move up closer because it looks really bad when there's no one sitting close. So they're moving everyone from the upper levels down to like the good seats.
Yeah, yep. But they don't have to do that now. Now you have to pay actual money.
Give it a year or two.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Go back to sucking again.
For sure. Sorry.
The good players will get picked off by all the better teams.
Kurt Gorgeson says sorry. Kurt Gorgeson says sorry. I don't follow tennis. Neither do I. It's basketball. Basketball, my friend. Basketball, my friend. Fred's asking
you could have
about
fooled me. Sports.
Yes, I know. Again, I know it's not the audience, but I haven't been able to talk about this in 45 years, so like we're gonna just give it a minute, and then we're gonna move on. So NVIDIA is working on some sort of with Home Assistant for some sort of home automation thong. That's what Fred has to offer for us. How do you feel about home automation thongs? That's what Fred wrote in the comments. Check the chat. Thank you, Fred.
Really?
You may have misspelled thing, but I'm interested in this thong idea, so please share photos.
A thong that says home automation on the crack.
Yes, I know that was a joke.
We'll model this for you.
Jorgensen.
It'd be great.
I think he just meant thing.
Yes, I hope he did. So, all right, last bit of news. Last bit of news, I promise. We have the results from last week's draft. I'm going to put them up right now. We did if you didn't check last week, 4 of us, the 3 of us, and Eric did a smart home draft. We took turns drafting home automation brands. And the poll, we put out a poll. The original poll I put out apparently deleted the second I put it out because I put it out right before I ended the live stream. So I didn't even know it. I'm like, oh, there's no poll. So put it out later today. The results of the poll are in 4th place. Eric is 4th place. He got 16% of the vote. Sorry. He went big on Apple, and if you love Apple, he's probably the team. But if you're not an Apple person, probably wouldn't want his.
If you did the same draft on someone else's channel, you probably would have won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like...
Shane, if you put it on Shane Watley's channel, he's getting 98% of the vote. And
or his own channel.
Or his own channel, right. Or his own channel.
So that's how Pete got some votes, because
no, hey, listen, all right.
He's the new DIY front-end guy.
In 2nd place was a tie for Vince and I. We had 22% of the vote, and it obviously was rigged because Brandon got 41% of the vote.
At all. Like we went over it.
Brandon put in the research,
Well, I have my cheat sheet right here. I came prepared. I was making notes as we went.
That's
had
great.
Plan B, C, D.
That's great, but you don't have Lutron, and you don't have Homey, and you don't have you don't have a golf simulator, right? See,
I would have traded for Lutron. Philips Hue would have been nice.
Yeah.
Apple would be nice.
Do you have
I'm pretty happy with my choices.
You don't have a snowblower. That's basically what it comes down to. You don't have a snowblower. I do. I win. You all lose. It was rigged. So
it was fun though.
It was fun. So we'll hopefully
got a couple of supportive texts afterwards of viewers.
Yeah.
Like, yours is the best. So.
I thought you were saying they had enjoyed the draft, but they were.
They also enjoyed the draft.
Okay, good. So yeah,
Mark and Valerie enjoyed it.
Excellent. We will do. I promise we will do a draft again. Not anytime soon, but we'll do another one. Maybe we need to have a few more teams in there to really make it cutthroat. Trying to get a voice assistant in a hub. So that would be interesting. But yeah, thank you for watching and thank you for voting, everybody who voted in our pool. But that is it for the news. And we are going to go to our main topic today. We're talking about our smart home, our home automation philosophies. So we've all had smart homes quite a while. Vince has probably the most advanced smart home of all of us. Brandon's got a lot of cool stuff, but he's backed off some of the automations. I'm probably kind of in the middle of the two of you guys. But we thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about why we automate the things we do, why we maybe have stopped automating some of the things we used to give you folks at home kind of an idea of what you can do with your homes. And we'd love to hear what you guys think as we go along here. So again, hop in there with the chat. But yeah, let's just kind of start with what are the things everyone should be automating, right? What are the types of automations that just no-brainers, like everyone should be automating this? You don't even have to question it. Like for me, I backed off a lot of the lights, but any light that is where I'm in and out, I'm just moving through an area, whether it's a hallway, a pantry door, even a bathroom, those to me are a no-brainer because I don't want to take the time to be flipping switches on and off. I know I'm not going to be in there long enough where it's going to go off on me, or that I'm going to really worry about what level it's on. I don't have to get too deep into that. I know just turn the light on when I open the pantry, shut it off when I close the pantry door, right? Easy peasy.
I think that's good. It doesn't even need to be smart, like just simple motion sensors.
Right.
Like the switch, or like the switch is like built in, the motion sensors built into the switch, I think is fine for like a pantry or a closet. Mm-hmm. For me though, it's all about comfort. So, thermostat and things like that. Just having that automatically change temperature, or like with the shades going up or down. Comfort is super important, and I don't want to be fidgeting with the thermostat all day, but at the same time, like I value my time and my money, so I like devices that save time and money.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's like a fine line. Like I stay away from a lot of automations that are just there just because. Like sometimes you don't necessarily know what to create or how to create, and so you just do the things that maybe like that you're comfortable doing. So lighting automations are really, simple to do. But I try to stay away from things, or I've pulled back away from automations that are really like value added to what I'm doing. So like I do a lot of accent lighting where like if it's at night, like bathroom motion sensors or main floor will come on at one if it's dark out and I'm walking from my bedroom to the kitchen, but none of my main lighting is really on any type of like motion sensors or automations with lighting like that, because I think there's a lot that can go wrong with that.
Yep.
And then you also have family members that get real PO'd.
Yeah, you know what
about that type of stuff that doesn't work.
I totally agree with you on that. Like when I used to work at Hubitat, there was kind of this philosophy there that like everything should be automated, right? Makes sense. We're a home automation company there. And so I bought into that, and I really tried to automate everything with motion lighting or contact, whatever it was. I felt like, well, we got to automate this. But when you get to things like a living room, a family room, right? yes, I was able to build rules based on modes or time of day that I could have the lights dim at different times or stay on longer or shorter. But it just got to the point what's the benefit here? How is this helping anybody? Right. When I found it easier in those situations to just add a button controller in a more convenient spot. Lutron button controllers, Picos are awesome. So if you want to change the light instead of having to get up and go to the wall to flip a switch, now you can do that, or there's a Pico right on the end table, right, that you can control your lights there. And for me, that was better for your main lighting than trying to do motion lighting or all these things. Korg is, I don't know how to pronounce it. We're gonna say Gasson or Georgeson in the comments is asking about Wave technology, if we think it's going to improve this year. I mean, that is the future as far as I think we can improve the ability to automate lights in bigger, more rooms that are more populated and things like that with the Wave technology. But yeah, it's not perfect yet. I do think it's going to improve. It has improved. I mean, Vince, have you noticed your Aqara improving with the firmware updates they've put out?
I would say it's still kind of shaky at best because they still, like, I have 3 animals, 2 giant dogs that weigh 150 pounds, and then we have another dog that's 15 pounds, and they get caught almost all the time. And so I've held off from having a lot of any type of lighting automations that aren't like duplicated, with another sensor of some sort, and creating automations with it.
I mean, you can't blame
do a little better.
Those were some big dogs.
No, they're massive. So, it's, in my situation, it's a little more, but it still picks up the 12-pound dog as well. And so that sometimes that doesn't really work out that great for some automations. So I pulled back on that sensor, but.
We had that with our cat, even with just regular motion lighting. You like tell where he is in the house.
Right.
They're jumping up on things and stuff. So even if you angle it and change the sensitivity, it's still. So we'd get tripped, and it's like, what the hell?
I would agree with you on like the main lighting stuff, using more like buttons or things like that. Like I have the flick buttons that I have mounted underneath like a coffee table that I push for like lighting scenes for if we're gonna watch a movie. Ooh, the twist and dial.
Do you have the twist?
I don't have the twist.
Or the different colors.
Ooh.
That's like the button.
I have the limited edition flick, the black ones.
The black one?
I have a black one as well. So
I use those more for scenes. I also feel like scenes are probably super underutilized by people who think they're kind of boring or whatnot, but they think they're pretty beneficial to use when you're coming up with automations. Like, don't overlook scenes just because it's not necessarily an automation in the sense of something's triggering it on its own. Like they work really well for things like movie night or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got a Pico right by our in the family room with the TV. That's you double tap the top button. That's your movie/TV scene. It just sets the lights. And now we got blinds. I got blinds that go down with that too. That was something I've really been missing out on. I can't believe it took me so long to invest in blinds. I have a video coming out tomorrow with my SmartWings blinds, and holy cow, that was like, I don't know what took me so long. I thought they were super expensive, and they're not as expensive as I.
Did you ever get the power shades?
I did never get the power shades. I don't know what happened with the power shades, but I'm happy.
Too DIY for them, I guess.
I like the SmartWings are awesome, man. I
agree. It's like budget version of Lutron, honestly.
Yeah,
basically the same.
Yeah, it's less than half the price of a Lutron shade.
Yeah. Fancy little controller. What's up?
Do you do your automations inside of the SmartThings app for those, or do you use other? What's your primary?
Okay, so I've been trying
with your smart blinds.
So with the smart blinds, I have they're both. I did have it connected to SmartThings as a test, but they're connected to the Hubitat now. They directly connect with the Hubitat, so most of the automations are done with that. However, I do have an automation with the Flick button. Again, Georgeson's talking about Flick. You guys have been talking about Flick. I've automated with a Flick button as well. That one I had to go into Alexa in order to integrate it. So I brought, because there's no direct Flick integration with the Hubitat, so I did have to go into
Was that Brandon's MSA going off? Because Pete likes to say the A word.
I probably did.
No, I got rid of her in the most rooms, honestly. I have her. It's still in the Echo Hub. And then there's like 2 other spots in the house, but I'm mostly Team Josh now. It's been going good.
Yeah, I'm that Team Josh is seems pretty nice. Seems pretty nice, but
the odds of someone saying, "Hey Josh," are a lot lower.
So, Georgeson, do you have the Flick hub with your Flick? And do you guys have the Flick hub? Yeah,
I do.
I feel like you got to.
I wish I didn't have to use the hub. Like there's 20 hubs.
I know, but like the Bluetooth, like I don't get how.
Yeah, the Bluetooth is terrible. You gotta do the hub, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's just in some random room, honestly, because it takes power over USB. And I think I just had like some USB outlet, and I just like, oh hey, I can hide it here. So we'll see it.
Yep. The nice part about Flick, or even have the hub, is when you connect it up to the Echoes, you can use it as a trigger for mostly anything. So that's the nice part about. I think Flick is the only. If I might be wrong now, but at one point was the only button that you could use to create automations inside of Miss A. So, do you?
You're right. Yeah.
Do you, Pete or Rand? Do you guys, when you do automations, do you spread them out over different platforms, or do you have them all kind of in one platform?
Go ahead.
I think it depends on how complex you want to get. So, like, I'm gonna be honest, most of my automations are either in the native app or like through the Amazon, the Alexa app. If I'm getting real complex, I'll use Hubitat. When I'm testing things, I use it in Hubitat because it's standalone environment, or whatever manufacturer of the day, because they all want to use their own hub. So, but yeah, I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah. Do you find that you struggle because Miss A is not local with the automations, or has that not been a huge issue for you?
Not really. I mean, we have solid internet here and really good network. So, I mean, heaven forbid something happens, I can get my ass up and turn the light off or something.
Yep.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah, I hear you. So I've split between Homey Pro and Hubitat. Probably still more stuff is in Hubitat than the Homey Pro. Anything I do in the Homey Pro, I do it there just because I like the automation engine. Like I just think it's fun to build an automation in that versus it's just a math struggle to do it in Hubitat. So if I can do it in Homey Pro, I do it in Homey Pro. But most simple automations, it doesn't. If Homey Pro or Hubitat, it doesn't matter. And I'm not going to just switch something over just to switch it over, right? If it's working fine in the Hubitat, I'm not going to put in the effort to switch over to Homey Pro just for the sake of switching it over, right? I usually have to have some sort of a reason to do that. I do have more and more things that are running through the Echo just because I used to do a lot of virtual switches to get things in and out. And then I'm like, why don't I just use the automation engine in there if I can, right? If I have to use that as a bridge, why bridge into there and then bridge it out into Hubitat or whatever and build the automation there? Just do it in the Alexa if I have to. And yeah, it's not local and sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes local things don't work either. So there's no real perfect solution.
What's kind of interesting too is that within that app, they actually have hunches, and so like I kind of like the recommendations that they've made. I'll make a little tweak to them here and there, but like for me, like in this office, the lights, it's kind of like the lights should turn off at night. Like, what are you doing if you're still up? And it's kind of smart. Instead of just like cutting the lights, it'll like dim them first, and then it'll flash them, and so it doesn't just like leave you out like in the dark.
Okay, so that's one thing I have been able to accomplish in the Homey Pro that I've struggled with the Hubitat, is to get it to do a dim and then be able to trigger it back, because with the Homey Pro with the flows you can wrap the automations back around, whereas the Hubitat is like super linear, right? So I haven't been able to really get it to do a dim thing and then actually, if you move again, go back up and restart that automation, right? I can't.
Yeah. I always thought that was kind of interesting. And it's also a nice reminder too, because like I've had nights where I'm like just gaming on a computer or whatever, and I'm up way too late, and then I see the lights start to dim, and I'm like, I should probably go to bed. Or like, okay, I'll just hit the button to keep it going, and then it'll try to do it again a little bit later. So
yeah,
nice friendly reminder.
In Home Assistance, like they did their state of the home kind of a thing. I feel like the AI or the Hunch, those types of automations that will be recommended to you, I feel like is going to be really big coming up this next year, where you're going to see a lot more of those and probably a lot more complex, where it can kind of create automations off of all the devices that you kind of are connected into that system. So like, oh, well, I know that I can use this sensor for this, and then basically give you some automations to do with it.
Yeah.
So like right out the door.
So Akara also says they're going to be coming out with similar technology. They said that at CES, so we'll see if that happens. But I think that's the way to go. I think AI is really going to make a difference for a lot of people.
And the Echoes have had it for a while. It's been probably spotty, to say best, in the past. But as they've kind of improved on that, made it better.
Yeah, Josh is really good about building the automations. It's like a GPT system, and you just kind of say what you want it to do and use all the descriptions, and it just builds it, which is neat. But
I've been saying what Amazon needs to do with those suggested automations is be like, so you could do this really cool automation if you happen to have an additional sensor, which we can send you right now, right?
I have a feeling that's kind of my thought process as well.
Don't give them ideas. I mean, they're probably already doing it. But
they've already had. I've already mentioned it out loud to other people. They've heard it through their speakers that are always listening to me. So they've got it.
One of the things that I think is really nice is if your smart home can know if you're home or not, because there's just so much that like you don't want to be running when you're home. Like if my wife's working from home or her schedule changes, like the vacuums would be disruptive. So just having that only trigger when we're away is kind of nice. And then same with lights and shades and stuff. Like if you know for sure I'm not home, then why the heck am I all my lights on? And
for sure. So have you tried? I have not tried it, but I think Hue and stuff could. If you are going on vacation, they can kind of they know what your light situations are, right? So they can basically create some sort of you're away from home, but we'll make it look like you're home type of automations. Have you guys used any of that?
Ring does that as well.
Yeah.
Where if you arm the security system, you can set specific lights that you want to turn on, like which ones. So you add them in say, hey, I want you to use this light. So maybe it's the main kitchen light and the master bedroom. Those are the two for me at the front of the house. So if they turn on and off like every couple of hours or something like that, then it looks like someone's home. But
yeah, nice. And then it'll kind of figure out your habits and make it. So that's because I've created those myself with Hubitat, and they have a way where you can like create a random time to start between, whatever times you want, a random time to end, turn it off between certain times. But the idea of just being like, you know what I've been doing, so just do something similar to that. I think that would be an easy way to do it. Because again, I'm lazy, and that's actually one. I think the best automations are really the ones that cater to my laziness. I basically do two types of automations. All right, I do the ones that make my life easier, and then I do the ones that I think are funny and ridiculous. Right? There's the middle ones. I've kind of like, why waste the time? But like the things that like for my like the exterior lights, I have it all programmed to every holiday's programmed in there because I'm never gonna remember that it's 4th of July or Memorial Day, and you're gonna drive home and be like, oh, everyone else has their cool lights on, and I'm still with my white boring lights, right? So it knows the holidays, it goes to the appropriate holiday colors, and it just checks every day. Is it a holiday? Yeah. If it's, Halloween, it's going to be orange. Otherwise, it's going to be white, right? So that's awesome. Never have to think about that at all. And then there's things like, your safety, like your locks and things, and your water sensors. And I've got sensors on my refrigerator door, or not my freezer door in the basement if I leave that open, which has definitely happened. Those sorts of things are awesome because, again, my ADD gets off and I forget things. And yeah, I've walked away with the freezer door open. So things that will save me mental energy is key.
Vince has a lot of that going on at his house. So
yeah, most of my stuff, especially with kids, I'm sure you're probably the same way, is just lots of things where like reminders or like where I'm using like Miss A to make announcements. Like doors left open, or garage, like the garbage can doors left open. The dogs will get in there if it's been open for more than a couple minutes. All that types of school bus routines, morning routines. There's like, I'd have to go through my entire list, but there's quite a bit. And I usually add things as they kind of come up. Like, for example, I was kind of tired of feeding the dogs every day myself. I want some help. So I put a contact sensor on this cabinet that I built. So if it doesn't open by a certain time in the morning, it's making announcements. So just kind of more stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've gone way more than I have in that, but that's, helping you keep track of things is really a great way to automate things. I like, especially, I forget what again. I don't like anything, actually. I don't like, my house stinks compared to yours. No, I'm kidding, but I know you do the school light thing that implements when, kind of let your kids know that the bus is coming and stuff, and that's an awesome automation. I made a video on that, inspired by your idea, I believe. So it was it's super cool. Super.
I was going to try to talk the school, the bus company, and let me put in like a GPS like thing or proximity so when they get close to my house, it'll automatically. But
why did you ask? Why don't you just walk your son to the bus and sneakily like?
This is kind of creepy, it's a school bus.
Yeah,
so
just find an excuse to talk to the bus driver, and while you're on there, you just stick something in a hidden spot, and you're good to go.
Yeah, air tag.
Yeah, not at all creepy.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the bus company should do something where they just have GPS on all their buses, and they give us access to it, to an open API. I mean, I feel like that should be.
I'm sure they have it. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure that.
Underestimate the intelligence of these people.
There's probably
they're lucky to get someone to drive the damn bus. Okay,
so it
start there. Can we fill the role?
It would be nice to track your own kids, but then again, do you want other people tracking your kids?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I've tried to figure out a way to use a real link camera that I have that faces the direction of the street to be able to do like vehicle detection between a certain period of time. But I'm struggling. So.
Yeah,
that's part of what automation is too. Lots of trial and error.
It's like time invested versus time saved. I don't know, guys. This is you're going like the whole.
You have children, you don't know.
Too much time.
You haven't had to come back from work to give your kid a ride to school because they missed the bus.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
it'd be terrible.
Yeah,
I don't have kids.
Brandon doesn't have children, so he doesn't quite understand.
So I buy fun things, okay? That's what happens instead.
But not only do I try to automate my kids, I automate my animals too, my dogs. I don't feel like I should have to do, they should be able to feed themselves or let themselves in.
You got the power slide door. Yeah.
It's pretty legit.
I just want you to be a companion animal. I don't want to take care of you. So
I still don't understand how, why do we invite animals into our home? Like the whole point of a home is to create a barrier from us and animals, I thought. Now I've got a dog. We've had cats. I don't hate animals. All right. I just would prefer to not live with animals given the choice. We just lost all of our, the subscribers are going down. Oh, dang it. Okay. Don't ever joke about.
Didn't you ever see that documentary that says don't F with cats? I mean, I feel like you just.
I didn't, but I heard about it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I've done some stand-up bits trying to, joke about not wanting to own a dog, and I'm not like, people take it the wrong way. They can't handle it. So I own a dog. I'm very nice to the dog. We get along great. She's my little buddy. All right. So I'm not a dog hater, but I wouldn't get another dog. That's all I'm saying. All right. I wouldn't get another dog. And if I can get an automation to prevent other animals from coming in my house, let's make that happen.
Georgeson says, Vince, it feels like Pete is trying to get you arrested. I think because of the school bus things.
Hey, buddy. Remember me? You barked at me really loud. Let everybody know I was at Brandon's house.
Sense that Pete doesn't like animals.
Yeah, he just barks at everybody.
Fine. I just don't want to own an animal. That's the whole thing.
Okay, I understand.
So why can't you?
I don't mind owning an animal. I just don't like to necessarily take care of them. I like, So I've automated their lives.
Gets the
almost to completion.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what you shouldn't automate. What have you learned that is just not worth the effort to automate?
Oh man.
And we already kind of talked about, like I said, on my main family room, my main living room, I don't automate those with motion anymore. I've switched to button controllers and using scenes and things like that. So that's something I don't highly recommend. Anything? I mean, everything can be automated.
Lighting,
huh?
I mean, main lighting, automate. I mean, it's not really like a good use. Main lighting. What else?
Well, Brandon, you said you've cut back. What have you cut back on with your automations?
When I first got into the smart home game, I was watching all the channels and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to implement that. I'm going to do this and that. And then, like my life is very different day to day. So my schedule changes. And so then a routine would trigger and I'm like, oh, I don't need that.
Yep.
Or like the welcome home thing. It was fun for like a week. And then it was like, what? That's getting annoying now. Now, like,
okay,
have a great day. Like, yeah, you too. Go fuck yourself.
Right. So, yeah, I've done things so I do enjoy, like when you came over to my house, I created an automation. So when you opened the door, the speakers played a little theme song for it. Remember when you came over for the smart home tour? Yeah. So, I like doing fun things.
Really
What's that?
Just kidding. It said he enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
It really did. You could tell by the expression on my face, and then it just kept going. It was like,
yeah, it maybe went on a little long, but that's all right. You
cool. I felt special.
You did.
But if that happened every time I unlocked the door, well, then I would be annoyed.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I like to entertain with my automations when possible. But yeah, then you eventually just got to shut them off because they get annoying. So.
The other thing is just too many ecosystems, right? So right for Realtor Magazine, I get stuff sent to me, I test it out, and then I have a bajillion apps, and I have like things going across different hubs. I was like, this is too much, and so I just kind of kept things simple and use best in class. So one security system, one camera system, one lighting system, one sound system, one comfort. And some could say that like, oh, it'd be nice to put that all in one app. Why don't you use like a luxury system? But then like even within a restaurant, you're still using the sub menus. So you go to comfort. Well, when I want comfort, I open the Ecobee app. So yeah, just really simplifying things, and scenes has been huge. Just scenes, and then just anything that saves time or money. But beyond that, I just feel like there's so many of these automations that people do and create videos about. It's like, you just made that to make the video. Like, it's not practical.
I'm not going to, my piano automation. Yeah, I did that to make the video. It was funny and enjoyable and I liked it, but I did that for the video.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
I mean, like as YouTubers,
right.
I like watching that and seeing the fun ideas that people came up with. But then I'm like, do you really use that? Or like that?
I do. Still, the piano lights do still work. We did shut off the applause that my wife got. So, when she was done, that got a little bit annoying. But did you guys just hold on? Did you guys see who just checked into the chat room?
Yeah, the OG.
The OG. Give it up for John Stone, everybody. John Stone, the original DIY smart home guy. Thanks for stopping in. Says he has completely stopped using voice, and I never started, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan. So, I did.
I quit. I was going to say that's one automation thing I've probably cut back on. I only have a couple of actual voice automations.
Yeah.
Double down on the voice. Josh, I've got Google, I've got Amazon, I've got Siri. They're everywhere. Whatever assistant you want, they will answer for you.
I use the Echo Assistant and the ecosystem, but just not for voice. Got to throw in some buttons. Buttons are better than voice.
Otherwise, I just use it for the announcement type of functions to say specific things to us, but not as an actual speaking to it.
Yeah. Did you see what Eric just said in the chat there? He says there is a bus tracking service that you can. He did an interview with somebody, so we'll have to.
Oh, maybe I'll have to look it up. I'll see if my small town that I live in has something like that. I honestly probably doubt it, but maybe I can, go to the bus company and see if they can implement that. I mean, it makes sense, right? You feel like you should know where all the buses are. Kid safety, Mm-hmm. My kid has gotten on the wrong bus before, and then we didn't get off on the bus. And we're like calling the bus company, like, I don't know where my kid is.
Oh, first day of kindergarten, my son didn't get off the bus at the bus stop. We're like, okay.
I bet that happens a lot, to be honest. Like,
I have an air tag on my kid now. I put it on his backpack, but
nice.
True
stalker.
But even then, it only catches when he's close to someone that has the Apple device. But
true. Very true. But
I feel like every time I travel, I get the notification like AirTag is traveling with you. Like to the point right now, I'm just like, whatever. Someone's stalking me. Cool.
Indeed.
Is my wife tracking me?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
We both have Teslas though, so we can.
I was gonna say
where the cars are.
She wanted to make sure we were really going to Menards for that ladder, so it's very important.
Yeah, exactly.
And her car too. The only voice automation that I use on the regular in the wintertime is to start my GM vehicle. I can use Miss A to start my vehicle before when I get up in the morning. I can ask to start it, and then I can go about my morning. But
that seems really dangerous.
I don't park in the garage, so I can't fit.
Fair enough. But like, imagine if a kid or somebody just like started it and carbon monoxide poisoning, because most of the time cars are in garages. Like, that just doesn't seem wise.
You have to ask her to start it, and then you have to put in a pin. So it's just like using your phone or like the GM app.
Fair enough. You could just get an electric vehicle too.
And me.
Not made of money.
Hey.
All right. Well,
it's cheaper.
So any other automations here, or should we move on to our fails of the week? I don't know if you guys have prepared.
I got a good fail.
I've got a fail of the week. All right, hold on. Where's my thing? My button. Where's my fail? There we go. Our smart home regret of the week. I think there was a theme song playing there. So, all right, we're back. Our bumper played. So, Brandon, if you got a smart home regret of the week, what's your smart home regret?
That's always a regret, but just
fail.
Like
regret or fail, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So as you both know, I've been testing a couple robot mowers, and that's been mostly going well. What's interesting though is it doesn't quite get to the edge. So like there's just like weird patches here and there, or like in the middle of the yard. It's like, why is there just like one random poof? Like, how can I not figure this out? And so now I'm that yard, and so that's kind of backfiring on me. Then you gotta like get out there with the mower and fix it.
How often do you run
I don't know. They like run all the time, it seems like. I'll just like look outside. I'm like, oh, it's going again. Cool. I don't know. It looks good. But like judging by the random patches that don't get mowed, it seems like it's mostly doing a good job. So that's cool. But yeah, and a couple of times they've gotten stranded, which is weird. Like I'm used to the robot vacuums calling for help, but now I'm getting like a push notification on my phone, and I'm like, where? How? What?
I'm at your neighbor's house.
I find its face. It didn't move. So,
indeed. So, Vince, you got a regret or a fail this week?
Oh man. Well, I'm traveling, so my girlfriend had to mow the lawn this week, which was definitely a fail after looking at the cameras. I should really send you a video of her. I'm like watching my Ring cameras on the outside of my house, and I'm like, what is she doing? It is like going back and forth. Like there's no rhyme or reason to how she is mowing. It is just everywhere. And I'm like, what were you doing? He's like, I don't know. Just know I had to hit every spot. It was like it's like bouncing around like an old Roomba vacuum.
Yeah, so we had that same thing when I was in college. We were renting a house, and our next door neighbors, like it was some girl that like literally had never mowed her lawn before, and she had to mow the lawn, and she was doing it like a vacuum, like just pushing in and out, and just like
what?
Yeah, not going in rows, like just push in and out.
And I have a zero turn too, so she's just she's just doing whatever, just having a good time.
Oh, you got to ride. Well, yeah, she was just having fun.
Cocktails first, or
I know. I'm just trying to get Brandon to send me one of his when he's done with it, so I can stop her from ruining my lawn.
More testing. I gotta see how they do on hills too.
My actual fail also was yesterday. So my dogs have these halo collars on that have GPS fence on them.
Mm-hmm.
In some way, somehow through a firmware update, the fence actually wasn't complete. So dogs were going apparently over the last week pooping in the neighbor's yard, and then my neighbor was not very happy about it, and literally took his shovel of dog poop and literally was throwing my dog poop all over my driveway. So when she got home, there was just the dog poop all over the driveway. So
that's a very Minnesotan neighbor right there.
I have
passive aggression just runs deep in that person's soul.
Listen, I haven't
fling the dog poop onto my driveway, so I know that he knows, or he knows that I know.
I haven't done it on the driveway, but I've definitely flung it back into the neighbor's yard when dogs have pooped in my.
I just pick it up and throw it away, man. Like it's what it is. But we also have dogs, so I guess. And we got a poop eater, so we gotta pick up poop before he finds it. He's really good at that.
Did you? Well, I was wondering with the vacuums, with the robot mowers, is that does it mulch up the poop? My brother says with his Husqvarna,
flattens it.
Oh, okay. But he said with the Husqvarna, it just disappears. He never has to pick it up.
Oh, that'd be nice. Ours would just disappear because the corgi found it first. Very sneaky.
Yum yum yum.
Speaking of fences, though, we need to like up our defenses here because. My wife's doing the gardens this year again, and damn rabbits are getting in. We got a privacy fence, but apparently the gap is big enough. So I don't know.
Got to figure out some automation.
You know, you can just buy vegetables.
Mowers.
You can buy vegetables.
We checked the cameras, and like apparently we came home like 5 minutes after they started eating. I was like, They're paying this little guy.
Maybe they've got trackers on your car.
I feel like.
Rabbit defense guy.
I feel like I've seen like a self-defense robot that has like a paintball gun attached to it. You can.
Yeah. Even like the sprinklers. I'm not gonna lie. Like one time there were some neighbor kids playing in our yard, and I was annoyed. And I old man that shit and just turned on the sprinklers. It was great.
Nice.
I should have saved the footage. I was like, "Get off my yard!" Boop.
Awesome.
Surprisingly how effective that was.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So my fail of the week is, this is in my upcoming video for my SmartWing shades. I'm an idiot. So I ordered 2 shades for windows that are the same size. They're like right next to each other, right? They're these little narrow windows right by my kitchen door, the kind of bay window-ish things, right? So they're about, 18 inches wide, right? I measured one, and I'm like, that's the same size as the other one. So why would I take the 30 seconds to measure the other one when I've got this perfectly measured window right here? And it turns out they're not quite the same size. So I had to shave a little bit of the inside of the window off to fit the shades on the one I didn't measure. But
that or their tolerances aren't quite there.
No, the windows
are probably meant to be the same size window, but
yeah, it's the tolerance of the window. The shades were the exact same size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the shades were great. It was the fact that the windows either have warped or whatever. For whatever reason, the tolerances were not the same on the windows, so it was about.
I will admit that I kind of fudged up the insulation of mine a little bit. Note to self: go a little bit longer if you're going to try to cover the front. Like if you got you want to cover the trim, live and learn, and then like the little gaps will go over it. But in the one window, I put it up higher, and then I didn't know that you could make the thing go longer, and so I was like, oh, it's not long enough. I really messed this up, and so then I lowered it. So now there's a couple holes.
Oh, there. You didn't. You got to read the manual, man. You can adjust.
I don't read manuals. And the manual was in the other box. Okay, that's part of the problem. It's if like you get 4 boxes and they put all the manuals in one box for some reason with the remotes, and
yeah, there was like a whole packet.
Had like accessories.
Got all sorts of manuals.
Very weird. Yeah, you got all that there, but yeah, whatever. I fixed it. One of the ones they sent though was like it had a fold in it, but they were really cool about it. And they sent a new thing. They're good to work with. It was a pretty good quality product, I would say.
Yeah,
for what you pay.
Is SmartWings the full blind? Or just the motor?
It's the full blind, motor, blinds, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good stuff.
Slick. You can change it to different things. The connectivity for a HomeKit though seems to drop off occasionally, but I got these remotes, so
yeah,
I guess it's fine.
Remotes work
and
great.
I'm gonna be real honest, they most of our shades like they just stay in one position. Like I did the power shades in the theater, and when I had them installed, I was like, yeah, so like they're just gonna be down all the time because it's a theater and there's no reason to open this. And like when the window is open, it looks out onto stairs for our deck, so like There's absolutely no reason for this window to ever be open. And then here in my office, like this one's like almost always closed because video calls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. No, I like it. I'm happy.
The main areas though, like upstairs, the Lutron ones, those go up and down all the time. So
I'd probably say motor blinds are probably one of my more favorite automations and products that I probably have when I did them. So
they're my new favorite. Absolutely, it's a
must-have, honestly. Like smart lighting and shades, every house going forward, gotta have it.
Yeah,
I would do it at the time of purchase too, so you just build that shit into the mortgage because it ain't cheap.
True.
Or go like options that you can go to. I mean, like if you have roller blinds, you can buy those motors individually, like the Eve motors and things like that. Like you don't have to go the full or buy the whole thing from one vendor.
Right, unless your current ones are crap and wouldn't work with anything, and they're already broken. Then you should probably get new ones, like I did.
There you go.
I got my motor blinds from Select Blind, which is a cheaper online piece.
Very nice.
They use the motion motors.
All right. Does anyone have a big? I didn't come up with a big idea this week. I kind of forgot about it. Anyone have a big idea, or should we just skip that and go to the big finish?
I'm still working on my.
All right,
we're working on my windows.
Oh yeah,
window cranks.
I would love to hear about. I hate casement windows with a fervor, but yeah, I would love to see your motors. So anything you're working on this week, Brandon? Any videos coming up?
Well, I have the other showcase or showroom tour. Whenever the other Brandon, gets done editing it. The last video kind of bombed though, so I'm kind of feeling a little down about the old YouTube, to be honest.
What?
I don't know how much more I'm gonna do.
Oh, it's disheartening. Well, don't leave our show here. We got.
Well, I won't leave the show.
Okay.
Like I enjoy our chit chats and stuff here. The Smart Home Talk is nice, but like creating videos is so much work.
It's a lot of work. Holy cow, is a lot of work.
If you pay editors, it's expensive, and I'm losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon though, the influencer, that's pretty good. I got a smart weather station I need to test out. I haven't unboxed it yet, but no, that's about it.
Nice. Vince, what do you got coming up?
Oh, that's I'm working with so I thought it was Reed, but it's not Reed's channel. It was Dr. Z's channel that did those window casement things. And so his 3D print did not work for my windows. And so I have a buddy that is a packaging engineer, and we have started like basically redesigning the whole thing so that we can actually mount these like on Anderson windows. And so they're low profile and a little more kind of like look like they're a part of the window. So instead of it being like this separate piece. And so I've been working with him this last couple of weeks of kind of fine tuning this design so that we can mount these on the windows. And who knows, maybe I'll patent it and sell it off to.
I was going to say, you need to patent that. You've already told too many people. Figure it out, patent it. Start selling it. You're gonna sell it on the channel.
May just sell royalties to Anderson Windows, so whenever they
there you go.
Give them design.
Is Anderson like super popular in other parts of the country? Because I just know here, like people go crazy. Like he's got the Anderson Windows. I'm like, what?
So Anderson headquarters, I think, is in Minnesota, but so is a Marvin Windows, and so is I'm pretty sure Pella Windows.
Really? The hot window market.
Can't hear you, Pete.
That's interesting.
So yeah, and so I think I don't know. I'm assuming that they're all kind of a part of it, or they're all like kind of in the Midwest here. Apparently, we love making windows.
Well, there you go.
I can't hear Pete.
Yeah, Pete's very much muted. Uh-oh.
Sure, you had it
done.
Where's your drink? I thought you were to drink whenever Pete has technical issues and can't hear.
How about a Fresca? He's still going though. He's still going. Like I don't know. Maybe he can't hear us.
He wants us to wrap it up.
Oh.
Because he's not going to finish. Well, we had one more part. He wants to say goodbye. All right. Well, Brandon, I guess we'll say goodbye for the night. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Pete, you're going to still run your reel?
It's running.
All right.
See the panda dancing.
There it is, guys. Have a good night.
Now we're back.